Hey. So I just wanted to make a video where we talk about how to have long distance friendships. Each friendship that I'm in is different. We went to college together, so we had 4 years together. We had a little bit of experience long distance when we both studied abroad. You 1 semester and me another semester, so it was like a year that we weren't together, but I feel like we got in a good groove of FaceTime calls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like during that time too, I remember we did stay in touch a whole lot. We send each other a lot of photo updates, and I always love that because you get to see a little into each other's lives without having to explain it in words, and like doing the audio messages too are really nice. You can't send an audio message on iMessage, you have to do it on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Obviously. When you're studying abroad, we were always busy.
Right.
It allows you to like send a big update without having to take the time for a phone call. Do you have a lot of people in your contact list who you're talking to on a regular basis?
No. Mom would be number 1. You would probably be number 2. And there's a lot of people who I'll send them a message and be like, thinking of you. Maybe let's do a call soon. But sometimes it's hard to organize, especially with international friends.
And with those people, sometimes it's better to just be like, hey, thinking of you. I still love you. I can't wait to see you eventually one day sometime in the next 5 years.
It's always good to establish something where you don't have to catch each other up on everything that's been happening, and you can just kind of like talk and be silly and make jokes. And that's an important thing for long distance friendships to remember. It doesn't always have to be life updates.
You don't really use social media that much. How do you feel like that has impacted friendships?
I don't necessarily feel like following people on social media makes me feel connected to their lives and what they're doing. More often than not, I'll just feel distant from them.
I liked how at the beginning of quarantine, once we all sort of left our college town, we were doing weekly calls, and I kind of want to get back into that as a group. It gives us a sense of community feeling.
I like the group calls. Sometimes they can be hard though if like one person is the type of person who will just like talk the whole time. It's like hard to be like, okay guys, let's phone it back in if you're just friends talking. We had done like a rosebud thorn sometimes to just like make sure everyone shared.
Those are good because it gives everyone a small opportunity to say a couple sentences about what's going on with them.
Yeah, and it's even like a nice way to check in with yourself and be like, oh, what's really important to me right now?
When you go through those times in your life when there aren't a lot of young people around, there aren't a lot of people you know around, how do you know when to reach out to other people? What do you do when you do feel lonely?
Yeah, when I'm not around a lot of young people, something that helps me feel connected is spontaneous calls. And I know you and I do and did this a lot, of just calling and being like, hey girl, what's up? And then I'll be cooking, you'll be folding your laundry, and we'll just talk about random stuff. That makes me feel really connected. I think when I feel lonely and without community, I normally would go to a coffee shop or go somewhere social, but now we can't really do that. So reading is good. Writing, dancing is something that I've been doing a lot because you don't really have to like think or mentally process things. It just is a bodily process. I also really like to go back and look at old videos and pictures of friends. That makes me feel connected.
My friendship with you and learning from you as a friend has taught me to be a friend to myself, because that's what you do. You really embody that practice of being your own best friend. That's changed my life. That's changed my relationship with myself.
It's interesting because I've been like playing with that balance lately where that sense of being one's own best friend can become self-isolating. And that's something you teach me, is to get out of my own little world and be in community. How can we be our own best friends and own lovers and take care of ourselves and also not close ourselves off to community and connection? When you can't pick up the phone or be in touch with someone, at least write them and tell them that you can't. I have been finding that to be really important so people don't feel left astray or forgotten.
I mean, that's one of the hardest things, because sometimes you just can't pick up. Sometimes you're like, I can't pick up now, or in the next week I can't call you back. So I'm just going to avoid talking to you so you don't feel like I can't prioritize you right now. And then, you know, I just end up feeling like no one answers my calls and no one tells me what's good. But that's okay. With long distance friendships, you just have to be way more understanding than you were before and just try not to take anything personally. Like, you have to trust your friendships.
You have to trust the longevity of them too.
Yeah.